The whiskey way. One of theirs pulls a blended, you pull a single. They send one of yours to Ireland, you send one of theirs to Scotland. That's the whiskey way.
Whiskey!
Welcome back. This week, we're discovering the world of whiskey. Matter of fact, where does that word even come from? Well, it actually comes from a Gaelic word, uskava. The Gaelic word uskava meant water of life. They thought that it was a magical elixir that could heal the sick. This is a theory I tend to agree with. But the word uskava, after a few uskavas got kind of hard to pronounce, so they shortened it down to the word Whisky, and Whisky later became Whisky. And whether you're in Ireland and spell it with an E or in Scotland and spell it without an E,
it still tastes pretty darn good.
Speaking of which, look at all these different whiskeys from around the world. Oh, look, here we get one. This one's from Ireland. And how do we know it's from Ireland? Because it's distilled 3 times it is. Oh, and from Ireland, it went over to Scotland. They started making the stuff in Scotland. And in Scotland, they have 4 different regions. They make fantastic Scotch, wide variety. They use different oaks, different malts, fantastic stuff, every bit of it. But from Ireland and Scotland, it made it all the way down to the United States. And in the United States, we started growing it in places like Kentucky, where we make bourbon. Or even better, well, not better. Somebody from Kentucky is about to punch me out. But also we make it down in Tennessee. What makes it Tennessee sipping whiskey? It's always filtered through 10 foot of charcoal made from sugar maple. It's breakfast whiskey. Actually, I never drink before noon, so I just have beer.
Okay.
This is a bit harder for me because my grandfather was from Scotland, Kentucky, Tennessee, Ireland, Scotland. Oh look, Canada, eh? We got some Canadian whiskey here, eh? It's gonna play some hockey with us a little later. Always has a little bit more of a sweet characteristic to those Canadian whiskeys, kind of an easy drinking, fun thing. Matter of fact, all over the United States here, we got one from northern New Mexico, bro, man. This one came from Santa Fe, been born there all its life, bro, for reals. You don't have to believe me, see if I care. So we've got these fantastic whiskeys from all over the world, and I wanted to dispel a couple of myths about whiskey. First off, I don't want you to look like a cork sniffer when you're out in public, so please don't do this. I only drink single malts. I'm a single malt drinker. I'm so superior to everybody else because I drink single malts. All right, that's a cork sniffer line. First off, there's some fantastic whiskeys made from blends. For instance, my $50 a shot Johnny Walker Blue. Please, if you only drink single malt, stay away from this stuff. It's the best. The other thing is, I don't want you to be the person who goes, I have to have my whiskey neat. I cannot have any ice or any water in my whiskey. It has to be neat for me because I'm a purist. You're not a purist, you're an idiot. Okay? When we're drinking whiskey, if you go to a proper whiskey bar, say you're in Edinburgh, right? I'm in Edinburgh, I'm going down a loop. I'm gonna have a drama whiskey, right? And we'll look behind us and we see all the fantastic whiskeys. Oh look, what's that behind the bar? Oh, it's a bottle of Glenrose and it's got a date on it. You don't very often find a vintage on a whiskey. That must be a very special whiskey. So they're gonna take it, they're gonna pour it out in a proper glass for you. They're gonna pour you a little dram. Now when they do this, they're going to give you a small carafe of very cold water. And what you're supposed to do, if you know what you're doing, is you take the whiskey, you take your little carafe, and you put just a tiny bit of the whiskey, a little bit of the water in the whiskey, and if you'll look right in there, see those little waves being created? Those are the oils breaking up. This is the water opening up the whiskey, just like oxygen opens up wine. And now the whiskey is opened up. Matter of fact, if you want to test how it is, the oil should be floating to the top. So if you put your finger just lightly into the whiskey, hold it like this, and notice that it doesn't come off your finger. Those oils are keeping it to the end of your finger. Now we've got a beautiful turned, flipped scotch. So when we put our nose in here, we get fantastic fruits, honey, toffee, dry straw hay, just a gorgeous experience. And that's how you really get to enjoy a true fine whiskey. So until next time, Salancha, 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 Uskala.
One of theirs pulls a knife, you pull a gun. If they send one of yours to the hospital, you send one of theirs to the morgue. That's the Chicago way.
Irish is a bit harder for me because my grandfather was from Scotland, so I always break into Scottish. It's hard for Ireland aside. I used to have an Irish roommate. We'd put on the accents and go out to the bars, act like we were getting a fight. Say, look in here, your mother's a piker. Your mother's not a piker. Shite, I'll kick your ass.